noon and Central Daylight Time on Saturday, the May the 1st. It's May Day. Uh, and hell, that just made me think of it. The Maypo, the fucking Puritans, they knocked it down, sent us back into, sent the natives back into the woods and the leaders to England and stopped the drinking and dancing and fucking. The Occupy the Need Act, we're going to be able to return to drinking, dancing, and fucking. Uh, we we're, we're going to send those uh, Puritan moralists. We're going to put them back on the Mayflower and send them out to sea. We're going to take their passports away from them, send them out to sea where they can never return to port again. That's what the Need Act can do because we can create all the money that we need ourselves for everything that we need ourselves and take care of ourselves. We don't have to go to the Puritans. We don't have to go to the bankers. We don't have to go to anybody other than to elect the right Congress people and and uh, and get what we want, which is drinking, dancing, and fucking. And uh, uh, and if that's not what you want, then I don't want you in the Need Act. No, we've had enough of the Puritan moralists. I mean, look at the fucking communists, what they did. They wanted to. Karl Marx was a hedonist, and he wanted to make life better for us. And and his answer was to democratize the workplace, and that is a fucking lot of work. What we need to do is minimize the time we spend in the workplace. And we can do that now with robots that we can create. And hell, it was only with robots that I communicated with to get this broadcast going. And uh, we're quickly developing the computer power to get there where we need. And the NEED Act will make it all possible that we can live good lives with working just a minimum amount of time. And if you don't want to work at all, you won't have to. If you can live on $50,000 a year basic income, you wouldn't have to work. You could uh, write poetry. You could, you could, yeah, you could be a revolutionary and 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 uh, let me get these damn things out of the way. The things keep popping up on my screen. So yeah, uh, we could live good lives. And as a revolutionary that I had just posted about on my Facebook page, I'm broadcasting. Okay. Uh, if you can't live the life that you don't want to that you want to live, it's not worth being alive. And uh, so we're going to live the lives that we want to live, not that somebody has chosen for us. Because you know this this culture that we live in, we think is just the way it's supposed to be, is a created construct. It's a man-made construct that was constructed by people to benefit them. And I'll tell you who it is. It's the bankers and the 1% since the 17th century, 16th century. Hell, they're 17th, yeah, not not 15 something, but 16 something, and they have controlled our lives, and we can take it back. I mean, hell, the legislation's already written. It's called HR 2990 of the 112th Congress. Look it up. It'll be in the descriptions. I'll get it there eventually today, so that you can look it up and read a book called The Lost Science of Money. It's the most comprehensive history of money that's ever been written. And if you don't know what's in it, you don't know the things that you need to know about this culture that we live in and what we can do about it. Uh, Zarlenga was probably pretty much a Puritan, but he created a, a way out of being a Puritan. I don't think he really realized that. He looked at my record and he didn't want me involved in it because it was too controversial. I'd done too much fucking for him, and uh, and and so he didn't want he wanted me away from it. But I'm sorry, Zarlinga, you taught me what I needed to know, and and I knew it. I knew that was what I needed to know right off the bat. The first time I heard you at the economics teach-in in Chicago in 2012, I knew that was uh, that was that was what I needed to know. I got your book sitting right there on my bookshelf, and it's signed by you to uh, 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 wish me well, and 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 I've done well. Besides, even though so many people have not wanted me to do well, so uh, we're let's see, uh, yeah. I'm looking at the tips for this thing. It says start every podcast by inviting viewers to download apps, subscribe to get notifications, and support my work on apps. You don't have to support anything. I just want you to get interested in it, and and if if you, I'm hoping that it'll strike a chord in you that fuck yeah, we've got people in charge of our lives that are not us. They don't have they don't have the things that we have and that we want, and dancing and drinking and fucking, and and if that's not what you want, then stay away from the Need Act, okay? Because I don't want you getting power, because it will give you power. Um, it, it's going to make it possible for us to get and keep the kind of congressman we want to write the laws that determine the culture we live in, and uh, we can tell the. I'm ready to tell the Puritans, moralists, uh, PC uh, people to get back on the Mayflower and turn their passports in and sail out to sea and never return to port again. So the Need Act does three things: takes the power, takes the it take it nationalizes the Federal Reserve, puts it into the Treasury where we think it is now, but it's not. It's owned mostly by uh, 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 Chase Manhattan Bank. Yeah, J.P. Morgan Chase owns almost half the stock in the Federal Reserve, and we're going to take it away from them. We're going to pay them off. We're going to give them the new dollars for their stock, and so we're not going to rob anything from them. We're just going to take their power to create money away from them, and that power is fractional reserve banking, where they can create money out of nothing in their commercial banks, and that's where all the money is created now. You get a loan, and you're getting loans whether you know it or not, because your federal government's borrowing for you in your name, your tax, in the name of the taxpayers. The federal government's borrowing trillions of dollars in your name. So don't say, well, I don't borrow money. Well, you sure the fuck do. And and uh, you got to wake up, man. Uh, and that book, The Lost Science of Money, and I'm going to put a link to it in the descriptions of this broadcast with a link to the copy that I have in my Dropbox. You can have it, and I paid for it $70. Uh, I copied this thing. by hand and and created a PDF, put it all in order, and it is perfectly searchable and let you go in and out and around and about and things. You don't have to read it uh, page to page, 700 pages. Uh, but you can search out things, search out people and their quotes and what they did, and Zarlenga, Stephen Zarlenga, co-founder of the American Monetary Institute, monetary.org, and I'm gonna put that link in the and description so that you can look at that website, monetary.org. We have a national conference every fall in Chicago, and now we did it this last year by Zoom meetings, and I like that because it was only $25. I didn't have to pay $300 and pay another $300 for a hostel room and ticket on Amtrak, and I didn't have to do all that. I just gave them $25, and you didn't even have to give them the $25. They would have let you, given you access to the Zoom meetings without that. So I, I would hope they'll do that again this year. So us poor people, because I am a poor person, I live on $1,400 a month from Social Security, right here in this house, this old this old uh, house that was a built as a fraternity house in 1927. I got a basement apartment here. Right there is my door, and and uh, 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 this great place to live. I take care of the yard here. I have a mower and weed eater and hedger, and I can take care of the yard just fine. And that way the landlord doesn't have to do it and saves him a lot of headache. And so he gives me $100 off on my rent, and and I'll be doing as long as I can. And I'm 80 years old now, almost. I will be in 6 months. Yeah, fucking 80 years old. I can't believe it. And and so let's okay, this neat act that nationalizes the Federal Reserve, and it ends the ability of banks to create money. They're still going to make loans, but they're going to have the money that they loan. And if they don't have the money, they can borrow it off of us. You can borrow it off of the federal government. We'll loan them money if it sounds like a good deal to us, but we're going to have to approve it. And us that just want to fuck and dance and drink, we don't want to be buying any tanks or fighter planes or B-52 bombers or B-1 or B-2 ones, B whatever they are, and missiles. And we don't want to buy that because we're not going to be out. We just want to let everybody fucking dance and uh, not be uh, 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 doing all the things that we do now, murdering, killing, but conquering continents. Uh, 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 so I got a friend that's coming up here. Here he is, right here. He's he's ready to murder. See, look at him. Yeah, he's from Tulsa, and that's what they do in Tulsa. They murdered like you wouldn't believe. Remember that airplane at O'Hare Field that crashed? It's a few years ago. The engine fell off of it, and it went sideways and went right into the ground out by uh, hell, I can't think of the suburb's name, but it was all in Chicago. And that plane just came out of the American uh, Airlines uh, uh, maintenance facility in Tulsa. According to a man who said he was a teenager, and one of his friends was a high, one of his friends' dad was a high executive in Xerox. and that plane was loaded with Xerox executives on their way to Los Angeles with plans for solar energy. And you know what they don't like in Tulsa? Solar energy. They fucking killed all those people. I think it was 400 and some people killed uh, that came right out of American Airlines maintenance in Tulsa, uh, uh, where Senator Inhofe is a big fucking deal, and he's another murdering bastard. So, okay, we nationalize the Federal Reserve, we take away the power of the banks, create money, and then we spend money into the economy for the things we want. And it ain't F-35s and ain't B-52s. It ain't smart bombs. We want fucking and dancing and drinking and 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 to hell with uh, making everybody pure and moral in the whole fucking world. So uh, that's all I'm going to talk about today. Uh, we're uh, let's see, here. I got people around. Watch this. Look at there. There's my friends. Uh, come up. This is my patio right here. This is where we talk about these kind of things. They don't. Well, one of them believes me. The one with the hat on, he knows monetary reform. He knows the Need Act. Although he's such a moralist, he hadn't realized what it can do uh, for us. And so, okay, that's going to be all my broadcast today. I'm glad that you watched. We've been 17 minutes here live, and I will post all the links and things in the description of this broadcast. It'll probably take me some of the rest of the afternoon, but I'll get it done. So, bye now. Uh, let's see if I can end the broadcast.